Hey, what's up guys, Este here. Welcome back to the video. Today we got a pretty cool and interesting video. Today we'll be talking about the Power Rangers. Once again, this is a Power Rangers channel. What do you expect? I make this joke literally every single week. Why are you guys still subscribed? Anyways, we're talking about the Power Rangers and their experience, their appearances at the happiest place on earth. That is the Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida. Now, if you haven't seen a previous video that I did talking about the canceled Power Rangers theme park that was going to be happening in Dubai, I recommend you check that out because there's some cool info about that theme park. The icon on your screen if you missed it. I'll also link in the description down below. But today, we're talking about the Power Rangers at Disney World. So that's pretty tight. I'm pretty excited for this video. 250 likes. This is great. There's a lot to talk about, so I'm very excited for that. Check out my Discord. Twitter and Instagram is at Este Gamer if you want to catch up and follow me. And of course the E-Squad comment of the day because I love the E-Squad so much. Power Rangers at Disney World. This is their history. Like and subscribe. So for the uninformed, in 2001 when Saban basically dissolved, Disney bought Power Rangers and started airing them on their own channels. They had Jetix, Toon Disney, and they also aired them on ABC Kids. Disney was just, popping. They had Power Rangers, and they wanted to make Power Rangers kind of explode in popularity again, and it kind of did. There was tons of new merchandise. Of course, they had the new seasons, the new shows. It was all great. But Disney wanted to expand their brand awareness, and one of those ways was they had the parks, the theme parks, and they already were selling Power Rangers merchandise there and tons of other places like the Disney store. They wanted to really make the Power Rangers boom, so they put the Power Rangers into the parks. Which park? Disney's MGM Studios, which is later Hollywood Studios. If you guys don't know that theme park, basically the essence of the theme park is basically it's a studio. It's kind of like Hollywood, so they have tons of pop culture and movies and shows to be there, and they have rides and attractions and experiences based on them, so Power Rangers was a perfect fit for Hollywood Studios. But even though Disney bought Power Rangers over in 2001, they didn't actually implement them into the park until 2005. So all this started, they had their own meet and greet right over near the Extreme Stunt Show in the streets of America. They had their own spot in the Disney Stars and Motorcar Parade. And in the Planet Hollywood shops over in Sunset Boulevard, they would have two of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie suits, the pink and the yellow one, right at the storefront. And of course, they would have tons of merchandise or whatever, but you know what? Let's talk about the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about the meat of this. Let's talk about their meet and greet experience, which is probably the biggest part of their experience at Disney World. Now, what Disney did, and basically to change it up a little bit, spice it up a little bit so that all Power Ranger fans could enjoy, they had 5 different Rangers from 5 different teams instead of having one team swap every year. Because, if a kid wanted to see, for example, Dino Thunder team, and that was 2004, and he went in 2005, so SPD's like, yo, where's Dino Thunder? So that was a smart move on Disney's part. So when it opened in 2005, they had 5 different Rangers, those being the Time Force Pink Ranger, the Wild Force Lunar Wolf Ranger, they had Ninja Storm Green Samurai, Dino Thunder White, and the SPD Red Ranger. They, of course, had their meet and greet, so they would come up in their Power Rangers car, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like blue and silver. They had a big Power Rangers lightning bolt in the back, and in the back of the car, they had like a little hidden Mickey. It was kind of cool. It was kind of like thrusters, like they would shoot out, and I don't know. They were driven by a cast member. They would be standing. They would have some loud Ron Wasserman music playing in the background, some classic Power Rangers tunes from the 90s, and they would also have the new theme songs from today's Rangers. They would come up, pull up, they would throw some punches, throw some kicks. Each Ranger would come out and have their own introduction, where basically this overhead voice basically explain the Ranger, their abilities, who they are, and they would do their pose, their actual pose that they do from the show, which is pretty cool. Then after the introduction is done, all the Rangers would go separate into their 5 different areas out on the streets of America, where they would have 5 different meet and greets, so you would have to go into a line for each Ranger. And basically for that small amount of time, I'd say about 15-20 minutes, I don't know how long meet and greets are, you would go take a picture with the Rangers. The Rangers would give you a superhero pose to do, and you'd do it with the Ranger. They'll take a picture, take a video, whatever. It was all pretty cute, pretty wholesome. You would have Power Ranger kids from all over the world come. They would even come in Power Ranger suits sometimes with the Ranger and take a picture with them. That's all pretty cute. But let's talk about the Rangers that were in these parks all these years. They had a different type of roster every year. When there's a new Ranger team, they would replace an old one and add a new one to the team. In 2006, they added the pink Mystic Force Ranger, which replaced the pink Time Force Ranger. In 2007, they added the yellow Operation Overdrive Ranger, which replaced the Lunar Wolf Ranger. In 2008, they added the blue Jaguar Ranger from Power Rangers Jungle Fury. That replaced the green Samurai Ranger from Ninja Storm. And in 2009, we have RPM Ranger Green, who replaced the white Dino Thunder Ranger. And that's pretty much it. At the end, we had this new team of Rangers. The SPD Red Ranger was never replaced, which is good because SPD Red Ranger, did I just butcher that? SPD Red Ranger is my favorite Ranger. So we had this new team at the end. We had SPD Red, Jungle Fury Blue, RPM Green, Operation Yellow, and Mystic Force Pink. Nothing we really would change throughout these with this meet and greet, of course. When they had a new Ranger, they would make a new introduction. Rangers would do their pose, and of course all the kids would be flocking to the new Ranger. But other than that, there wasn't really much change. They eventually left that Motor Cars Parade. They didn't really show up that much. Their appearance at the park started dying down a little bit. In some special events, they would have all the old Rangers come back, so they did keep the old suits from those replaced Rangers and bring them back some special events. If they had something maybe in the parade, they show up once in a while. There's not really much info about that, but they did keep the old suits sometimes, and they would have a little fun with the old suits. There was times where the pink Time Force Ranger and the pink Mystic Force Ranger would be together, and that's pretty cool. The team up you never thought you'd ever see. But as we know, when 2010 came along, there was no new Power Ranger series. They started re-airing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So everyone's like, oh goodness, they're gonna put the red Mighty Morphin Ranger in the show. But no, that never happened. Dog, why are you barking? They kept the SPD Red Ranger, and the show basically stayed the same. In May 12th, 2010, however, we found out that Saban Brands bought Power Rangers back from Disney. That's when we eventually learned that the Power Rangers would no longer be in Disney World. So in August of 2010, they had their final appearance at Disney World. They would come up, do one last show, and a lot of old Power Ranger fans and workers at Disney World came up to support the Rangers one last time. That was pretty cute. And then we never saw Power Rangers again at Disney World or at any theme park. Period. Are there any remnants of Power Rangers Disney World? Yes, there are actually. If you go to Disney's Hollywood Studios today and head to the Planet Hollywood store, they would still have the yellow Mighty Morphin movie suit. I went there over the Christmas season. I did sell the Yellow Ranger suit and snapped some pics of it. It was pretty cool. But other than that, there's nothing left at the Disney parks. So, what do you guys think? Did you go to Disney World when Power Rangers were there? Did you take a picture with them? I was there, but I never really took a picture with them or really saw it. I would pass the sign. I was like, oh my god, Power Rangers. But Mom's like, no, Esteban, let's keep it moving. We got more rides to go to. I was like, but the Power Rangers. So, put an F in the comments to pray for me. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for supporting. I appreciate all you guys' support. I'll be back next week with another brand new video. Este Gamer, have a great day. Subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, E-Squad, I don't know. Stay awesome, everybody.